Alright, let's get started in ZBrush. So I'm going to use a Z-sphere. Let's draw another one for, it's going to be a neck. Let's draw one for the body. Move this guy down. Move the neck over too. So this is going to be sort of the bottom of the neck. Let's scale this guy out. Right there. Okay. So I'll pull out the shoulders from here. Let's match draw. Shoulders, move. So there are your shoulders. Draw the humors. Move that. Zoom a little bit. Yeah, my draw distance is too big, so it's catching both of them. There we go. Something like that. Okay. Let's get started. That's the elbow. And I think we need to do an A position. So to draw, it's going to be the forearms. Move. Let's get started. I'll come back and do the hands later. Let's do the rest of the torso. Start pulling out the sweeps. So I'll do that. Start pulling out the spine. Move it down. Yeah, this will be, I guess it'll be like roughly top of the rib cage. Let's do one more down to the pelvis. So let's go down a little bit. Pelvis is there. Okay. And now let's draw the hips. So I'm going to do one bone out here for the hip joint, and that's going to be the femur. So let's go to draw. Let me just move back a little bit. Let's make sure it's centered. Oh no, it looks like okay. Move that out. I think it's it. No, it should be up here. Okay. Let's see. Okay, so it's a bit bigger. I think it's a bit bigger. Let's make this drawing a little bigger. Essentially, I'll cut it bigger too. Show it a little bigger. Okay. Now let's do the femur. Looks pretty close actually. That's a good start. So yeah, let's fix this a little bit. A bit straighter. Let's put the head back a little bit. Shoulders back, chest up. Pelvis back a little bit. So a little too far back. And we're going to fill in all the space here later. Actually, the head's looking a little big. It's going to be quick, so not too worried about getting it perfect. It's just getting a human figure. This is my first video in the series, so I'm going to keep iterating on this, and hopefully I'll refine the process as I go. Well, I've been doing this for quite a while, and this is my own process. I'm not like a professional game developer, so this is just a small way to do it. You're not going to get AAA results this way. This is just for just to get something done, you know. Okay, I'm happy with that. Let me just save this guy. Let's see. Alright, let's do the hands. So it's kind of the wrist. Let's do another wrist bone. Yeah, this is where their actual finger is going to come from. Let's see how that looks. Proportion to everything else. So it's just a little bit small. Okay. Let's start drawing in. This will be for the thumb. First finger, second finger, middle foot, middle finger, and pinky, and thumb joints. Let's zoom in a little bit. This is going to be super long, but it's okay. It's the first try on this video process. One analytical. I need to draw something that everything in more. There we go. So just 2 dots there. And then scale this guy up a bit. So this one up. So this one up. Let's move these around a bit. There. That's good. And start drawing knuckles, the finger bones. Okay. So it's the first metacarpal and the second metacarpal. Let's go here. Two. Oops, keep making T. Down. Roll. I'm just gonna do all the metacarpals and I'll fix the scaling later. Draw, move, draw, move, draw, move. And you don't have to do all 5 fingers. I think there are rigs that they don't use all 5 fingers, but I like to do it. I think it's a nice touch. Alright, let's get these looking more normal. My fingers tend to bow out a little bit. The middle finger is the longest for me. Ring finger second longest, and the pinky is the shortest. And the knuckles go about the same way. And actually, the last knuckle is pretty close to the tip, actually. I really noticed it before, like that. So, it's not bad. It's not great. It's not bad. Let's scale these up a little bit. Scale up that knuckle. Scale up this guy a little bit. That guy. Scale that guy. Scale that guy. Scale that guy. Show that bigger. Let's move here. And thumb should be down a little bit here. Here. Yeah. And that should be up a little bit there. That's kind of hard to see there. So just do it for this one. Yeah, it should be a little bit like this. A natural feel. And we're gonna have to fix the details, but I just want to get the basic structure down with this one, with the Z spheres. Just this one, not this. To move this one. Nope. Move this one down. I can move this one up. I can move this one back up. So Okay, that's not bad. That's good enough for now. And the thumb should be about there. Actually, this part should go back a little bit. Okay, that's good enough for now. Alright, so you got the basic setup. At this point, just want to make sure the bone structure looks semi-normal and proportions are good. And I'm going to throw on just some feet real quick, and that'll be it for part 1. Turn off perspective. So we'll go to heel. Oops. Go to heel. We'll go to fourth. I guess I'm on a foot. And then a little bit of a toe area. And I can do all the individual toes. I just need a basic structure, and then we'll flesh it out during sculpting. Alright, so we got the basic skeleton down. The Z-spheres. Anything else we want to do? I'd like to bulk up the arms a little bit and the legs. It'll save us a little time later. And I'll do the chest too. Okay. Alright, that's good. Let's get started. Save this. Okay, so starting in this section, I'm going to start sculpting from the Z-sphere sort of framework we developed. So the first thing we need to do is go to and make adaptive skin. So the adaptive skin palette. There it is, adaptive skin. Let's preview that. It's not terrible. I don't like how those fingers are coming together. Lower the density. Just so. keep the density fairly low. Just kind of roughing stuff in right now. And looks like we need to fix these hands a little bit. So let's turn the preview off. And let's try to let's fix these hands a little bit so they don't get so messed up. So it looks like I need to separate these two out a little bit. So make the knuckle a little bigger here. A little bigger there. Around. And pinch it back up. Oh, so actually a little thick right now. It's not right here, it's a little too thick. Go back, and this one back up a bit. There we go. See how that looks. It's pretty. That's better. I can deal with that. So now I'll go ahead and make the adaptive skin. Okay. And we'll switch to that one. So we should be able to start sculpting now. Focus. Let's save this one as adaptive skin. Okay, so let's see what we can do here. Let's do the inflate brush. And so I need to control size, put the intensity a little bit. Oops, it looks weird. Oops. Let's do something like that. You know, actually, enlarge is probably not the best tool we should use. Yeah, let's do that. I think not the inflate. We should use the one where we can push and pull things. Which one is that? Move topological. There we go. Nice one. Oh, what happened? Actually, this would be a good opportunity to use that the box modeling thing, but I don't know how that's set up. So for now, skip that. Oh, that's that crap. Well, this is definitely something to work on in the future. This whole modeling part. Let's go back to the quick build up. So make sure we look at the front. Let's start sculpting this out a little bit. There we go. Looks like we sculpted them backwards. Yeah, you gotta be careful. The back of the head's here and the hands are over. So hands are supinated here. I think it's supinated. No, it's pronated. Hands are pronated, but the head, this is the back of the head. So we're just gonna go with what we have for the hands based on that. And at this point, now I'm going to stick on Dynamesh. Geometry. Mesh. 112. Scroll down. 256. 256. There we go. Oh, it looks like it's already on. Alright, so let's fix this guy. Since we're just trying to knock this out quick, it doesn't have to be a perfect anatomy. We're just going to make this kind of like a distorted alien type of figure. Or just a sort of distorted figure in general. Stylized distorted figure. Next one there, I'm doing so on the page, pectoralis, the deltoids, shoulder blade, back of the arm, back of the neck, head. Let's give it a real alien looking head. Yeah, that's cool already. That's how the back of it kind of bulge out. Yeah, it looks sick. Nice. Let's turn to the mastoids, the trapezius. The seventh cervical vertebra right there. If this was a human, it's a humanoid creature. And chest looks super wonky. So let's pull back some of that. Let's move that lats. And the 20 feet. I'm actually okay with this so far. It's a pretty interesting character. Some calves. The leg biceps. Glutes. Vastus lateralis. And I forget all of the other quadricep muscles. The pad, shin, back of the foot. There you go, let's just sculpt that out. Oops. It's trying to get a little distortion. As well, I'll use the move tool for this. Let me see, where'd it go? Elastic. Switch back to build it. So like clay tubes. Let's make this a little interesting. They have the point shoes. Looks messed up. Okay, it's good enough. Okay. Yeah, it's cool. So we've got a little bit. Bicep, brachioradialis, extensors, flexors. Is it the medial malleolus, brachialis, and triceps? That's good. Then the ulna, let's get in here. Alright, this is where I'm going to move the topological. Let's fix this hand. And actually, I'm going to mask this. Okay, let's flatten that out a little bit. Yeah, it looks a little better. Okay. And this, let's now inflate. Inflate. Just a little thickness. Not too much thickness. That's alright. Let's quickly tubes. And this looks okay. Again, this isn't like a anatomical study. My finger just like walking through, but just trying to get it done. Let's move some of this back. Let's get in here and do some detail work. I should do it topological. The last two. Yeah, that's better. It kind of slopes down from the top to bottom, so the bottom. So it should be a little more build up on the bottom. Then cut away at the top. Apply too much detail. Just put on chemicals. Yeah, this resolution is not really holding anyways. That's a bit exaggerated. Smooth this out a little bit. Okay with that. Again, it's not perfect, but it's interesting. I could probably fiddle around with this all day. Okay, so we got a basic figure now. Wait, I want to go a little short. Right there. Compared to the edge, a little short. Let's see if I can stretch that out. I'm going to use a transpose tool. Which I don't. There it is. That's our scale. Okay. Scale. That is not what I want to do. I think that actually the wrist is supposed to be rotated a little bit too. Let's figure this out. There we go. I should mask it a little bit. Okay, let's mask it. Let's rotate out. Just hang it a little bit. So, what's an A pose actually look like? Do the arms come up in the A pose? I feel like they do. Let's see. The hands are supposed to be. Hands are supposed to be almost totally rotated. Like that. But not front, just out to the side. Back. I think that looks nice actually. Yeah, I like that. Okay, let's turn off the mask. Let's go back to mode. Just finish this away. Okay. So actually that's good for me. I'm gonna save this play here. Move that save it as depth scan 2. Okay, next will be ZSketch. Okay, now we're on to the ZSketch, which I just like to use for to add kind of muscle detail. It's a little quicker, I think, and gives a unique look compared to the brushes. So let me see. It's under the ZSketch palette. So it should be a ZSketch palette somewhere. Let's turn off the mesh. Where's the ZSketch palette? ZSketch palette. ZBrush. Okay. You may, it looks like you may only be able to do ZSketch and on Z-spheres. Okay, so you do have to have a Z-sphere, but it doesn't have to be necessarily the whole Z-sphere sketch. So what you can do is thanks to YouTube, you can append a Z-sphere. So let's do that. Go to append. Tools. Let's append a Z-sphere. Okay. Now we can even hide it. And then we should have this ZSketch palette in here. Maybe we can't have hidden. ZSketch is here. There it is. Let's see, can it be on the other tool? No, it looks like you have to be on the Z-sphere. That's fine. I'll just shrink this down so it's not actually here. And then I can start Z-sketching over the sky. Draw. Good sketch. Ooh. It's nice. Not too strong though. Yeah, intensity. Ooh. Make sure we put an edit sketch. So let's see whether the Z intensity makes a difference. Yeah, it's really looking better. Yeah, the kind of shoulders. Yeah, I think it's better actually. I like sculpting over top of the, or Z sketching over top of the sculpt. It definitely gives a closer feel to like muscle bundles. These hands look a little small actually. I get in there and scale those up. Let's probably gotta do it better. Okay. Okay. I think it's kind of nice actually. Let's have a look before and after. Okay, so the Z sketches you have to make a unified scan. Unified scan, let's preview that. Let's go a little higher resolution. I think that's nice. Just keep that. Okay, let's make unified scan. Okay, there's a unified scan. And we need to, I think, append that. Yeah, let's see if we scan too. Append that. And now we don't need the Z sphere anymore. Get rid of that. And then this merge all. Merge visible. I should make it into one. This guy here merged. Switch to that one. Boom. This guy's almost done. Yeah, I'm just gonna make the hands a little bit bigger. And I'll call it a day. The feet are still kind of wonky. Yeah, let's mess with the feet. Let's sculpt the hands first, and then we'll fix the feet, and then we'll call it a day for sculpting. Or no, then we gotta do the we gotta do the detail mesh. Okay. So mask the hand, reverse it. How do you soften it? Okay, so we just need to click control. There we go. Soften it a little bit. Reverse it. And then I'll scale these. Sketch is bad boy up. Okay, let's do this again. Actually, I guess the forearms need to get a little scale too. So let's, oops. Let's reverse out the mask and scale this bad boy. Oops. As I scale it kind of scales away then. Scale it up big and just fix it. Yeah, that hands are huge. I like that. That's cool. Alright, that's actually good. Just a little happy accident. Yeah, that's dope. Okay, let's go back. Let's go back, turn the Dynamesh back on. Let's move it up a little higher, sensitivity. Let's go 512. Or 48, sounds good. Yeah. Let's go back to clay tubes. Let's clean this up a little bit. Let's move this. So I'm trying to sculpt it back out. Let's move this. Oh, nice, got extra long arms. I'm also okay with that. Looks like a little bit. I feel like I need some bigger feet. So I'm just make the feet bigger. I think that should be it. Yeah. Nice. Draw. Let's go. I think I'm gonna try to polish the bottoms of these. So the planer tool, polish tool. Let's try to polish this a little bit. Oh, that's not correct. I think the planer tool will be better. Cool. Alright, so this guy's done for this part. Alright. Let's call this the sketch. Alright. So Alright, so now I'm going to sculpt some details and finish off the high poly version. So I'm going to pop this up a little bit. 640. I don't know, those arms look a little long. That's okay. It's like a gorilla or something. Let's just put some detail on the head. Just kind of refining some of these forms I put in earlier. And one of these days, maybe I'll learn how to make it look like nice and smooth in AAA, but I'm okay with this sort of sketchy, like, I don't know, it kind of reminds me of like Rodin or something. Kind of rough, sketchy sculptures. I mean, I like drawings like that also. I like clean drawings too, but I really like rough, sketchy drawings. I had a teacher used to call them expressive. I mean, I guess they're expressive, but I think they're actually just kind of messy. I mean, they are expressive, but I'm not trying to be expressive. Just having some grit sometimes makes it look interesting, I think. Yeah, this high dynamic line seems to be preserving most of this detail. So I'm gonna get it pretty close to finished, and then I'll probably save it as a high. Clean up this top here. It's actually kind of interesting. Looks like he's got weird lips. So I'm going to try and use it. Maybe what does it look like? That's pretty good. Okay. Let's see this little nodule with his neck. It's kind of weird looking for these. Okay, I'm gonna call it a day on this guy. Alright, so that's sculpting. Let's save this. Let's call it the dimension. And so now we gotta create the high poly. I gotta turn off the dynamish. Let's dynamish when it's on. Let's turn it off. Let's get 3 million polys. So let's do one. Let's do one. One more. Let's just do a little bit of polish or something. It's just to mess around. Let's just see what it looks. I feel like I should use an alpha since I have all this extra resolution now. Let's see, what else do we got here? That's interesting. Let's use this one a little bit. Let's be standard. So nasty. Just playing around. Let's enable its extra resolution. So add some texture to it. That's fine. Just add a little flavor. Alright, let's see if this is a high poly. Okay. Alright, so next step will be to create the low poly. Okay, so we finished the high poly mesh, and now we're going to move on to creating a low poly mesh. And what I'm going to do is use the ZBrush. So I gotta set it up for ZBrush. So let's see here. ZBrush. These are the Z plugins. Or is it in there? Yeah, I guess it's on the some plugins. So ZBrush. Oh, it's here. It's under geometry. So I'm gonna turn on the use poly paint, and then we have to paint in oops. I'm gonna go to poly paint, turn it on. Poly paint, colorize. Okay. And then let's turn off the alpha. Off. And we'll turn the add Z off. And this is just gonna be RGB. And switch to white material. So red areas for details, and blue areas for less details. So let's go with red here. And so the detail areas are going to be the head, the hands. Kind of anywhere I put in extra detail, I think it would be a good idea. So the head, definitely want to keep the detail in there. Let's keep detail in the chest. Put a lot into that. This detail here looks kind of nice too. Try to keep some of this detail here. Let me see. You're definitely getting the hands. You don't want to lose detail in the hands because it's going to mess up geometry. So the hands are kind of forearms. I think really actually it's kind of it. The rest of geometry doesn't really matter that much. Just keep the shape. Yeah. And then you can paint in blue for the less detailed areas. So stomach, the insides, too worried about. There. Feet, don't need to worry about too much. And that's going to increase the poly count in the red areas and reduce it in the blue areas. So actually at the joints, we probably want to have a decent poly count too. So actually here, let's see the ankles. Back, all around the leg. Joint, then let's see the hip joint. Waist a little bit, elbow, shoulders, to the neck. Yeah, I think that should be okay. Alright. So we poly painted it. Now we're gonna use the ZBrush. So let's go to geometry, ZBrush, and we're gonna do target poly count of 5. Use poly paint, and let's go. So it might take a minute. ZBrush in progress. Alright, now we're back. And it turned my model red because I left the color red. So there we go. Let's have a look, see. Is there a hole there? Yo. Oh, that's not good. Got a couple holes. Probably not a good thing. So let's try this again. This is your measure. So let's pull the key creases. Intensity. Let's keep groups, see if that helps. So the key creases. Okay, so there we go. Let's try this one more time. Okay, and we're back, and geometry is kind of messed up. All kinds of holes. I'm just gonna not bother with it right now, because I think I'm gonna Dynamesh anyways, so that should actually cover up any of these mistakes. If not, we'll just have to do it again. Alright. So here's what we'll do. Let's turn on the Dynamesh. Keep relatively high, 640. Let's see if that helps. Oh, yeah, it's not the Dynamesh. Let's load up the high poly again. Let's load the tool. I think we saved it. High poly. So this is the high poly. So you know what? I'll Dynamesh it first, and then because all the high poly details are captured on the high poly, and I don't necessarily need them all for the low poly. So I'm gonna do let's Dynamesh this one. Put down to 20. Dynamesh it. Okay, I can freeze all the subdivisions, that's fine. Okay. We actually kept most of these details. So just remember, this part is just to get the low poly version, so we can lose some detail actually. And it shouldn't be a problem. And 360. Oh, we gotta turn it on first. Yeah, even at 360, we're retaining a lot of the detail. Okay, so let's try Dynamesh or ZBrush again. After we did all this ZBrush, I get 5. Poly paint. That means we got a poly paint again. So we're gonna use poly paint, and let's turn on poly paint. Poly paint. Colorize. The red here. And actually, after I do this, I'm gonna save the poly painted. RGB. So head. I'm gonna turn it off. Turn off Dynamesh if I haven't already turned it off. Yeah, turn it off. Shoulder joint. Elbow joint. Hands. Hip joint. Knee joint. Ankles. Alright, this we need to protect. So bracelet 2. Okay. And places I don't need to protect are let's see here. At the back. Otherwise, just let ZBrush handle that. So let's save this so I don't have to for ZBrush. Okay, and now let's go to ZBrush. And let's go. Okay, the back. I think it's better. We got a missing triangle here. So I'm still getting these holes, which leads me to believe some kind of problem. So maybe we'll dynamesh it again. Let's drop it to 256. Drop it pretty low setting. Let's dynamesh it. Oh, 232. That's fine. Okay. Let's try this again. Oh man, I gotta poly paint again too. So let's go to poly paint. Colorize. Good neck. Shoulders. Elbows. Hands. Pelvis. Knees. Ankles. And just to save time, skip the blue. Okay, and now let's try ZBrush one more time. Geometry. ZBrush. So I get point count. 5. Let's go. Let's try 6. Let's try 9. And we can always try to ZBrush it again. Okay, there we go. Much better. Okay, and did I ever turn off dynamesh? You'll see what I mean. Turn off. So we got down to 8. Let's try to get down to. Let's try to get down to 6 now. So ZBrush it again. Looks like I lost some detail on the hands though. So it looks like I gotta keep poly painting it each time. If I want to preserve the details. But fortunately, I'm getting pretty fast at this. Okay. Alright. Let's try to do this one actually. My goal is to get down to 50 for the low poly, so let's do the 5. So back in the geometry, ZBrush, sure. Let's do 5. 50K. Let's go. Okay, that's great. I mean, it's not great. Oh shit. It's a little hole there though. What's that all about? There's one last one. Maybe 5K is just no, that's from the adaptive size. Reduce adaptive size. Let's try this again. I mean, the hands are kind of messed up. Yeah, it looks like that's solved it. Yeah, this is the low poly mesh anyway, so. Oh man, it's nice how thin this guy is. Although now there's problems in the chests, I see. Maybe it was just the angle. Let's see him now. Let's see. Yeah, it's right here. Some holes right there. Maybe 5K is just not enough. So we'll just keep it at 6. Yeah. So I'm gonna have to do a little more smoothing if I want to get down to 5, 50K. But for now, this seems to have done it. It's not great though, like these lines and stuff, but it's probably not going to be noticeable on the final mesh anyways. Okay, so this is the low poly. And save this. Save this. Okay. So from here, we need to get the details back onto the low poly. But we're going to add our subdivisions. So we're going to just get, let's divide this bad boy. $2 million? Okay. I think it was at 5 million before. Let's one more time. Yikes, that's kind of a lot. 8 million? Okay, so we got 8 million pies there. So now we need to project the details from the high poly to the low poly. So we're going to have to load the high poly and then append it. Can I just append? Is the high poly in here? Oh, the poly painted high poly. Let's load the high poly. Okay, let's just go back to low poly, and then we'll append the high poly. And high poly. Alright. So we're going to project the details from the high poly to the new divided low poly, which is now high poly. So okay, so we need to select the low poly. That's already selected. And then we go to project, project all. Project, project all. And now the low poly should have all the details from the high poly. And then we can delete the high poly because now the low poly will have all the subdivisions. And then we can do the UVs. So it's quite a lot, 8 million, so it might take a minute. 8 million polys. Yeah, it's going to take a minute. Alrighty then, looks like it worked. So let me see. Turn off the high poly. Yep. Good to do. The one alphas came through okay. Nice. Alright, so let's get rid of this. Let's get rid of the high poly. Delete that. And we'll save this as low poly, high poly. No high poly. It's gonna be a huge file. Okay. Okay, let's see. So we should be able to now change the geometry on this. From 1 to 4. Yeah. The 1 still has way too many, but next time. Okay. Now it's on to the UVs. So to do UVs, this is why I like to use ZBrush for this whole process, because you know, UVs, they're a lot of work on their own. But ZBrush has the UV Master plugin. So it's under Z plugins, UV Master. UV Master. Okay, first we're going to do work on cloud. So now we have a clone at the lowest subdivision setting. And then we want to enable control P. Enable control P. And we want to protect areas that we don't want seams and track areas that we do want seams. So let's do the protect first. And it's going to be like the head, seams on head. This is probably easier if I start with, or I do want the seams, so let's go to the attract. So seems here will be fine. Inside the hand. Foot, you know, just the obvious areas where you're not really going to notice the seam. As much as possible, let's try to get them there. And actually, more or less everywhere else, I want to kind of, I don't want to bring the seam right across this one. It's a nice dividing point. It's a nice dividing point. It's a nice division point there, too. And then let's do protect. So let's protect. I don't want to seam in front here. Try to keep most of this seam free. Keep the outside of the hands form seam free. Actually, rust is fine. Shall we do the control painting? Do I need to unwrap it? So, unwrap. And start stain. So after that, we have to copy the UVs, open the high poly, low poly tool, paste the UVs, and then we want to morph UVs just so we can have a look at them. Alright. So we should be able to check the UVs here, check seams. Chemistry. Check seams. Right down the middle. Well, at least the head's okay. Everything else is good then. Okay, that's cool. So now we get a copy of the UVs. Copy the UVs. Let's open the high-low. Load the one we saved. Low. Or we probably should have saved. Saved our seams on the other one. It's fine. So you plug in. Let's paste the UVs. Oh yeah, we got to drop it down to the lowest level. Now we can paste the UVs. Paste the UVs. And now we should be able to go to Tools, UV Map. We should be able to, yeah. All right. It's a little messy, but yeah, it's fine. All right, so that's good. So we got the high poly, low poly, with all the subdivisions and all the UVs. It only took all day. And save this one. That's the high poly UVs. Okay. So all we want to do now is now we're going to export it. And there's another tool for that. So let's go to Z plugin, Scale Master. Scale Master. Set scene scale. Set Y to height. Set scene scale. So how many inches would this be? 7 feet, huh? Yeah, 7 feet. It's a little tall. Okay. So it's set to that. Now we need to resize the tool. Should go to scale it, right? Let's see what the scene scale. It's a little tall, 6'8". Let's get down to 6 foot. Again, set scene scale, about 6 feet. Yeah. That's good. 5'9". Okay. And that's good. Now scale the set. Let me see. Let's see if this is scaled. It's all done. It's all done. Then we export the high poly and export the low poly. So on the one subdivision, this is going to be scaled. ZBrush final low poly. Okay. And let's export the high poly. Poly. High poly. Save it. Done. And done. Yeah, it's a huge file. And after that, we're done with ZBrush. We're done with modeling for now. Next, we're going to go on to texturing in Substance. 3, 2. Ooh, over here. Okay, we're done. And this is already saved. So now, just quit.